Good morning students. Today we discuss 12th commerce subject morning video. In this video we continue the same chapter, that is Securities Exchange Board of India. In this chapter we already discussed the meaning, definition, functions of SEBI. So in this video we discuss about the powers of SEBI. So SEBI will have such power in order to control the stock market by way of fixing the rules and regulations, supervising, checking all the activities of the stock market. The first power is powers related to stock exchange and intermediaries. SEBI has wide power regarding the stock exchange and intermediaries dealing in securities. It can ask information from the stock exchange and intermediaries regarding their business transaction for inspection or scrutiny and other purposes. So this SEBI will have a power to supervise all the activities of the stock market and also the activities of the intermediaries, those who are dealing the securities in the stock market. Power to impose monetary penalties. SEBI has been empowered to impose monetary penalties on capital market, intermediaries and other participants for a range of violations. That is, if any intermediaries or if any companies are not follow the rules and regulations fixed by the SEBI, and the SEBI will fix a penalty about their wrong activities, that is violations in the rules and regulations of the SEBI organizations. It can even suspend their registration for a short period. Sometimes this SEBI organization will also give suspension order to the company and also to the intermediary. They will not continue their activities to deal the securities in the stock market. Power to initiate action in function assigned. SEBI has a power to initiate actions regard to function assigned. For example, it can issue guidelines to different intermediaries or can introduce specific rules for the protection of interest of the investors. So this SEBI organization will also have a power to fix the rules and regulations, and in order to protect the interest of the investor, such rules and regulations should not be followed. Those companies, the penalty will be given for that companies. So it can issue guidelines to different intermediaries to deal the securities. Power to regulate insider trading. SEBI has power to regulate insider trading or can regulate the function of merchant bankers, those who are dealing the securities in the stock exchange. Powers under Securities Contract Act. For effective regulation of stock exchange, the Ministry of Finance issued a notification on 13th September 1994 delegating several powers under Securities Contract Regulation Act to SEBI. So the central government, that is the Minister of Finance, will give a notification to the SEBI in order to delegate the powers to the SEBI organization to control the activities of the stock market. SEBI is also empowered by the Finance Ministry to nominate 3 members on the governing body of every stock exchange. So this SEBI will also have a power to appoint 3 members on the governing body of every stock exchange. With the help of the Finance Ministry, it will nominate. Power to regulate business of stock exchange. SEBI is also empowered to regulate the business of stock exchange. Intermediaries associated with the securities market as well as mutual fund, fraudulent and unfair trade practices related to securities, regulations of acquisition of shares and takeovers of companies. So this SEBI organization will also have a power to regulate all the business dealings in the stock market and also the intermediaries, those who are involved in dealing the securities, and also the companies, those companies who want to issue the securities in the stock market. Next, DMIT, that is dematerialization. Dematerialization is the process by which physical share certificate of an investor are taken back by the company, are registered and destroyed. So dematerialization means it is one of the activity of physical share certificate of an investor are taken back by the company. Then an equivalent number of securities in the electronic form are created to the investor account with his depository participants. So with the equivalent of the certificate, physical share certificate, equal number of certificate in electronic form will be credited in the investor account. So dematerialization is done at the request of the investor. So investors will first have to open an account with a depository participants and then request for dematerialization of certificate through depository participants. So dematerialization will be done by the SEBI on request of the investor about the securities. So first the investor will open a depository participant account and then request for dematerialization of securities through depository participants. Purchase made by an investor are credited to his account and sales are debited. So through the depository account of the investor, whatever the purchase made by the investor about the securities should be credited and the sales are to be debited. So the securities held in dematerialized form are fungible. In other words, they do not have any distinguishing features. So dematerialization shares do not have any distinctive numbers. All the holdings of a particular security will be identical and interchangeable. So those securities which are dealt by the investors through this account will be helpful for them in order to deal anytime through their account. Trading in dematerialized shares commenced on the NSE in December 1996, where Reliance Industries was the first company to trade its 100 shares in demat form. So in case of BSE, that is Bombay Stock Exchange, dematerialization of shares commenced in the year December 1997. So in the 1996 December, National Stock Exchange will commence a dematerialized form of share dealings. In December 1997, Bombay Stock Exchange will commence dematerialized form of securities dealings through depository participants in the name of the investor account. There are some benefit of dematerialization. That is, the risk pertaining to physical certificate like loss, theft, forgery and damage are eliminated completely with the demat account. So through demat account, the securities are to be safe in investor account. There is no chance for theft, forgery, damage or loss of securities. The lack of paperwork enables quicker transactions and higher efficiency in trading. So it is one of the paperless work. So because of through the online system, the dealing of securities will be made. Trading has become more convenient as one can trade through computer at any location without the need of visiting a broker. So this method of dealing the securities is beneficial to the investor. They will never go to the stock exchange market, or they will never meet the broker not to deal the securities. They will sit with the computer and they can make any location. They can deal the securities, whether shares or debentures. The shares that are created through merger and consolidation of companies are credited automatically in the demat account. So whatever the shares are dealt by the investors, it will be credited automatically in the company's name in the demat account. As all the transactions occur through the depository participant, a trader does not have to communicate individually with each and every company. So as per the demat account, all transactions are made through depository participants. So a trader does not have to communicate individually with each and every company, and there is no need for stamp duty for transfer of securities in the case of a demat account. Certain banks also permit holding of both equity and debt securities in a single account. Banks also provide a dedicated and trained customer care officers to assist through all the producers. So the bank will appoint a trained, well qualified officers to take care of dealing of securities through demat account. So a demat account holder can buy or sell any amount of shares. However, there is limit on the number of transactions done using physical securities. One can also choose to take a loan against securities which are held in demat account by offering it as a collateral security to the lender. So with that we conclude this video session. So students, you can watch both video 1 and 2 carefully and write all the assignment which are given in this video. That is, read all the topics and write all the topics with answers in your commerce assignment notebook. Keep the notebook safely and you should bring it on school reopening day without fail. And don't forget to send a task complete message in the group. Thank you.